So goodbye Dingle, it was lovely, a few days. We're just heading out, back out and heading for Valencia Island. So just leaving Dingle Harbour, heading for Valencia. Brother John up ahead, and a lovely day for it. Woo! How odd to be sailing out of Dingle and not have fungi. I couldn't count the amount of times I saw fungi here, and it was always a joy to see him pop up. It's a bit odd not to see him now. Always great activity here. What a beautiful sheltered harbour. Lovely natural harbour. I used to keep a boat. Had a mooring in there for years in Cluj Moor in Burnham. Beautiful day. Everyone's always friendly here. But look at that for scenery, my God. And I've sailed in lots of different countries and all over the Mediterranean, and you just never, on a good day in Ireland, you never get to equal it. On a bad day, it's awful. So anyway, our destination today, the last headline is Bray Head, which is the tail end, the western end of Valencia Island. So it's only about 3 hours, and it's one of my favourite places on earth. It's where I met the lovely Cathy. Sailed in there years ago and bumped into Cathy on the pontoon. So lovely to be back on the high seas. And I mean, talk about getting lucky with the weather, it's just couldn't be better. This is the Iverna Peninsula. We're now leaving the Dingle Peninsula for anyone that's not familiar with the area. And you know, it couldn't be a nicer day, as I said. So here's an interesting fact. You can see the lighthouse inside. That's the entrance to Dingle Harbour. It can't be seen from at sea because it overlaps. So in the years of the sailing ships, they built this tower, East Tower, and there's a pointer on it. So when you were coming in before, it would point to where you'd go, you know. This is Ventry, where we were anchored the other night, and then the Blaskets. Isn't that magnificent? Still loving the new sails, by the way. Look at that. Genie. So on to Valencia. So glad I had a beautiful time with Cathy. Really lovely time. And now to be back out and testing everything again, and then be heading back. So lovely to be back out. Two of us keeping time with each other, which is lovely. Woohoo! I can hear you. Lovely escort the whole way to Valencia. What a beautiful day in the ocean. This is what I love. This is what I love to do the most. People ask me, why am I going sailing around the world? I could sit here all day, and I will for a while. Beautiful Valencia Island. There's an Magnificent. You can see the leading light there. White light for transit in. Red and green port and starboard, obviously. A lot of people are a bit nervous of it, and today it's a perfect day for it. But my God, is it worth coming in here? The nicest people on earth on Valencia Island. I love it here. A lovely Valencia. One of my favourite places, as I said, Bernard, Cahersiveen up here. Screaming in with the tide. I'll have the engine on now as well. So magnificent. John was behind. Oh, he dropped his sail. Beganish Island, inhabited up until recent enough years. I think there's some of the houses are still summer homes. Oh, I love this place. So now I better get ropes ready and watch out for the ferry. Drop the sail. Well, it was a beautiful day. So happy to be back in Valencia, Knightstown. As I said earlier, one of my favourite places. Why wouldn't it be? Look at that. So happy with everything, how everything is working on Waxwing. Where would you get it? Night from Valencia. Just getting everything ready for the morning for Waxwing. We're leaving at 6 a.m. for the Blasket Sound. Beautiful evening here in Valencia. Look at the sunsets. There's always beautiful sunsets. Look at that. So we're going to go through the Blasket Sound and around Civil Head and heading back towards Kilrush. So everything's ship shape, everything ready. So looking forward to a trip. Here's John getting ship shaped as well. Beautiful morning here in Valencia. Sunrise. Not much wind forecast for today, but what a beautiful morning to be going. So goodbye, Valencia. We're given fog and mist for today. But no swell, which is good. But not much wind either, but anyway, we gotta get back. It's 7:30 in the morning, heading for the Blasket Sound. Got the engine on because going to try to get through the sound as fast as possible before the tide turns. Don't want to be there against the tide in the Blasket Sound. So, coffee on, second one. Lovely to be back out and testing things and out to my port. Brother John and Apache clipping along 7 knots. As soon as we get through the sound, we'll knock off the engine and sail properly. Coffee first. Isn't she beautiful? Look at the way she goes. The Red Arrow. Captain John. Geronimo John in the Apache. Good man, John. Be great company. The one thing I must say that I will miss is bananas. I love bananas and Weetabix. And I'll miss my brother John. We have the best crack. Look at that for activity. Must be hundreds and hundreds of them. Behind me, surrounding me. The other day they were there and I could hear them. I have the engine on now so I can't. Oh, look at that. Well, this is why you do sea trials. And just after having engine failure, and the dolphins just came to see if I'm okay. So I'm outside Smerwick Harbour at the back of Mount Brandon. I called Valencia and Shannon Coast Guard radios. So there's no immediate danger, but there isn't a puff of wind, so I'm just drifting. So it's the joys of it. So I think Fenit are going to come with the lifeboat and tow me, which would be good. I think it's probably too far to go back to Valencia where I am, but I think I'm in the middle. I'm in the border of whether they come from Fenit or Valencia, so I'm hoping it's Fenit. To me it seems closer. So this is why you do sea trials. I had issues with the fuel pump, so I presume it's that, or my tank is clean, everything else is clean, so lifeboat called ETA 30 minutes. So once they come, I'm not going to be able to leave the wheel. It'll probably take 2 or 3 hours to probably tow me in. So I'm going making sandwiches and drinks and have everything in the cockpit that I'll need. Because normally I'm able to hop in and out as I'm sailing, and now I won't. So I'm going to have a few sandwiches and have them in the cockpit, and a few bottles of water and drinks, and just be prepared. So that's what I'm at now while I'm waiting. I have everything else ready. So the line is attached to the bow of waxwing, and they're just feeding it out, and soon I'll be under tow. God bless them. Some service. So I'm under tow, cruising along about 6-7 knots. So I've been towed to Fenit. Be in there in a while, and I'll have to get a mechanic and see what happened with the engine. I mean, it was running perfectly. Unfortunately, these things happen. Never happened in waxwing before, ever. But anyway, that's why I'm doing sea trials. So steady 6 or 7 knots. Flying it now. Maximum hold speed, I reckon. Getting to visit Fenit today, unexpectedly, which is a lovely place too. So Hopefully find a mechanic here now and get this sorted and make some sort of a plan. Spend a few days in Fenit. So my engine trouble led me to Fenit today. You can just see the top of Waxwing's mast there. But what a beautiful place to be. And I had a mechanic down, so he's found the problem with the engine. It was a lift pump actually, something simple, thank God. So beautiful here. Who's your man? I love exploring new marinas and seeing all the new boats. So here's Waxwing here. So this is where I'll be now for a day or two until I get the new lift pump for my engine. Beautiful place and a beautiful evening. So the mechanic has just left. Good news with the engine. The lift pump was gone. So he's going to get a lift pump, or I'm going to get one in Tralee tomorrow. He's going to ring me later. Beautiful evening here in Fenit. So that's good news. If it was a major fault with the engine, that'd be, you know, a rebuild or a new engine or something. So it's just a part, 40 or 50 quid part. Unfortunate, but that's what the sea trials were for, as I said earlier. So beautiful day here, or beautiful evening. So I'm going to be here for a day or two and then be up and running again. So that's good news from Waxwing. Busy day today. Cathy came over and picked me up, and we spent the day flying around Tralee, trying to source parts for the engine. And I must say, everybody in Fenit, like, so helpful. And do you need this and do you need that? It was really, really kind. So thanks to everybody here. I got a lovely mechanic, a guy called Cecil, which came down and he removed the pump and the problem pieces. So I went into Tralee today and I got a couple of new lines made up. And a friend of mine, Barry Gill in Limerick, sourced me a new lift pump, which was amazing. They're not that easy to get, I presume. I don't know. They didn't have them in Tralee. So the mechanic, my brother John, who I didn't think I'd see for a while, is on his way back down by car to give me the pump, which came from Limerick. So super, John, thank you. And the mechanic said he'd come back at 9:30 tonight and fit it all. So I should be on the way again tomorrow, which is brilliant. And you know, I'm actually delighted. I know it sounds odd, but I'm actually delighted in an odd way that the pump failed, because it was actually a simple issue once the mechanic figured out what it was. So I mean, to replace the fuel pump now, that would last longer than the engine. So I mean, that's it's good to have that done. I mean, I wouldn't have carried a spare fuel pump or a lift pump. So that's good. So to speed the mechanic up, because I know it's late, it's 9:30. He said, my brother said he'd be here. So I've everything ready. I've everything laid out that he'd need. Full access to the engine. I better remove the back cover. So hopefully we'll be all good. As you can hear and see, the engine running perfectly again. I've had it running now for about an hour and in and out of gear. So thank you to the mechanic here, Cecil. Fantastic job. I like learning, and there was a lot of lessons learned from yesterday's engine failure. One was don't be too slow to call the lifeboat. I mean, I wouldn't call them for something small, but I mean, I had no wind, my engine had failed, and I was drifting, no wind at all, so I was drifting back towards Smerwick. So I actually left it a good while before I called. So anyway, a lesson learned is, you know, call straight away. If you think you're in danger, call. The second thing I did, which I only thought of not long before they came, is I removed my anchor off the bow roller and stowed it so that their tow line would run. I have two cleats each side inside the bow, so they both went out and out over the bow roller, which made life easier. I brought everything I needed into the cockpit. Warm clothes, rain gear, food and water, and my handheld VHF, so I could communicate with them. I don't have a fixed set outside, because I couldn't let go of the wheel once I was in tow. You could maybe for 30 seconds or something, but in general you'd want to be following them. So they're just what the lessons I learned, and the gratitude I have for those lads is amazing. You know, they were all, I presume most of them were volunteers, and they were also sound when I came in. You know, we had a good chat, and we were laughing, talking about this and that, and boats in general. And so also the coast, you know, the Shannon Radio and Valencia Radio, they were superb. You know, they were also helpful, and also professional. And sorry, the other thing that was a big plus was me having AIS. So I had wrote down my lat long before I called Shannon Radio or Valencia Radio. I forget which one I called first. I had my lat long wrote down, and they said, we got you on AIS. So they made they just came, I could see them coming in the distance, and they just came straight to me. They just locked in on my AIS. So, I mean, I spent a lot of money on AIS, so it was, I think I got my value. So my biggest thanks to the RNLI and all their volunteers and all their workers, superb people. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked everything that happened this week, all the excitement, and I didn't enjoy much of that, but anyway. I've also some big news coming next week about a sponsor, which is big news, fantastic news. So keep an eye out for that. Talking with a company, and they're dead keen, and so that'll be brilliant. So anyway, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe if you haven't. If you want more information, go to my website. There's a lot of info there on my route, etc. It's Peter Lawless solarcircumnavigation.com. There's a GoFundMe there as well if you want to donate. So thank you so much for watching, and talk to you soon. Wax wing out.